Because you don't really see the theater anyway, as a rule.
Not much, you know.
Maybe sometimes when you're there.
Yeah, sometimes you'll have like, sometimes you'll go to a city and you'll see the theater and then you'll see like a coffee shop across the street and you're like, wait a minute, I do remember this setup here. You know, I mean, I know I've been here before, but yeah.
Okay. And this will just be very brief. We won't keep you long.
Okay, that's no problem. How's the hair?
I think it looks good.
Okay. The highlighted hair for Jesus with highlights.
Why not? He's in the sun a lot.
I just do what they tell me.
Okay. Well, DB, first of all, welcome to Fort Worth.
Thank you so much.
To the Bass Hall.
Thank you.
Happy to, I will be very happy tonight to see Godspell. It's always a favorite show. And I always have such feelings and such empathy for the actor who plays Jesus, because how daunting is that?
Well, that's pretty, yeah. Pretty.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll start that.
Sure.
His rolling, I'm sorry. You could have continued.
Oh, okay. All right. What did you do to prepare for playing Jesus in Godspell?
Well, I think that in this show, what the important thing is to, and our director has talked about this a lot too, most of the preparation just took place in the rehearsal hall, sort of becoming a community with the other actors in the show. You know, you do develop a bond with those actors. It is a community. I guess, you know, in the show, of course, Jesus is the leader of the community, but I think that you, as far as preparing to play the character, it's probably best not to delve into trying to be godlike, but to be maybe the character with the most amount of leadership qualities and the most empathy and love and support and good feeling for the other people in the group. A true desire to want each and every person on the stage to shine and to become what they can be.
As far as people of the Christian faith, they certainly can identify with it. But what about people who are not of the Christian faith?
Well, I think, you know, our director also said that on the first day of rehearsal, he said, you know, it is called Godspell. It's not called Christspelled, you know, and so I think that, I mean, obviously, as you said, it's based on the book of St. Matthew. It's got, you know, the Christian faith can easily identify with it, but I think anyone can identify if you're a spiritual person, if you believe, if you have faith in any sort of higher power, or a want to believe in something of a higher power. I believe that it has something for everyone. So
we have in this production, mounted by Casa Mañana, what we call the Camp Casa kids. Mm-hmm. What is it like now working with these youngsters?
It really is a beautiful, beautiful experience, especially with this show, because, you know, they are on stage with us. The entire show, they're on stage with us. For one, they're the best audience you can have. And this show, there is such a purity, and I think the beautiful nature of the show is in its simplicity and its pure message, and there's no better way to see that message than through the eyes of a child. And so in that respect, it's just great to have them there. And then aside from the show, it's just so neat to watch them. You know, we get a kick out of watching them do their number, and they're great, you know, and they're always coming up, you know. I was outside my dressing room the other day, and I heard somebody say, "Hey, Jesus, I love you," you know, and it's just to have them around, it really sort of gives us that pure essence that is so necessary, I think, for a good production of this show.
So what you're saying to me, DB, is that you get a lot of respect in this show.
Right. You know, it's sort of odd to be called Jesus sometimes. You know, like, okay, Jesus, you're going to come here. And it's like, that's a little strange sometimes. It's like, just call me DB, you know. And that's another thing. On stage, if you'll notice in the show, he's never referred to, my character is never referred to as Jesus on stage. He's never called Jesus in the writing of the script, which is another example of how anyone can come and who has a belief in any sort of higher power. You know, it is based obviously on Jesus, but he's never referred to in the show as that, which I thought was, with the exception of one sort of joke that's in the show, he's never referred to directly as that.
He's never addressed as Jesus, what about?
Exactly.
All right. Okay, well, DB, I know you've got a rehearsal coming up here very soon,
Right.
and I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing the production tonight, and perhaps afterwards seeing you at the reception.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, now,
That I was the standby for in New York. It's a two-person show.
I don't know that show.
The gentleman who won the Tony Award this year for Dirty Rotten Scoundrels,
Yes,
I was his standby
Oh, really?
in that
Oh.
show in New York.
Yeah.
So, and that's very contemporary,
Oh,
but in a different way.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you start acting as a kid?
About when I was, I guess about 13, 14. I played all sports until then, and we just did like a unit. I was sort of in like a accelerated learning program, and we did like a unit of study in theater and did a play in school. And my teacher called my mom and said, "Has he ever expressed interest in being in an acting class?" And she said, "No, all he ever wants to do is play sports." And she said, "Well, you should ask him." She said, "Because he's the only one who really takes it seriously. He knows everyone's lines. He gets mad." Your microphone is into your body again, I think. Yeah. Is it okay?
It's okay, as long as it's not touching the bead.
Oh, no.
No, that's all we care
Okay.
about, is it touching the
now, sometimes though, if you point straight in, it'll pick up your vocal, kind of reverberating off your vocal cords instead of the sound from your mouth. We're doing better.
No, it keeps going back. I don't know how else to angle it. Tell me.
I think it's okay. Yeah. As long as it's not straight in, which it doesn't look like it is. Actually, I think I'll go back up an inch.
DB, besides praying a lot, what have you done to prepare for this?
Well, I think the most important thing the most important aspect of the preparation is the bond that you form.
Of course, people of the Christian faith identify with this, but let me start again. Of course, people of of course, people of the Christian faith identify with Godspell. But what about people who are non-Christians?
Well, I think our director said something very important. He said that it is not called Christ-spelled, it's called Godspell. And
in this production Casa Mañana has, we are using Camp Casa kids.
Mhm.
What is it like working with all these youngsters?
it's been a joy. They really do provide the right atmosphere for the show. You know, they're on stage with us. You know, it has been really neat to see them sort of blossom, to watch us. And they also, you know, they provide, like I said, they're the best audience. They're right there with us.
That's good.